Have you ever wondered why, after 60, that stuff becomes harder to enjoy, harder to get up, harder to stay up, or afterward you feel drained like something just sucked the life out of you, even though you haven't done anything wrong compared to what you've done for decades? But are you willing to consider a possibility that's even more unsettling? That it's not age taking away your sensation. It's a habit you repeat every time you touch yourself that's quietly making your blood vessels tense, your nerves numb, and your pleasure slowly drift farther and farther away from you. And if today you keep doing it the same old way, 6 months from now, a year from now, will you still have the confidence to be intimate? Or will you be left with nothing but embarrassment and avoidance? I'm a urologist, and I'm telling you this with complete respect. Masturbation isn't bad, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. But after 60, your body doesn't respond like it did at 20. And there are certain things you need to stop immediately if you want to protect blood flow, sensitivity, and long-term enjoyment. In this video, I'm going to share 3 safe tips that a lot of men 60 plus have never been taught. But if you apply them correctly, you'll feel your body breathe easier, starting from the very first time. If you think content like this is worth keeping up with, you can subscribe so you don't miss future videos on men's health after 60. And after you've watched, if you found it helpful, leave a comment with the number 1. If it didn't feel right for you, leave a 0 instead, so I know what I should improve for you. Now, before we get into the 3 specific tips, you need to understand one important truth. After 60, pleasure isn't about being stronger, it's about being safer. And everything starts with how your body responds to stress. Have you noticed something really strange? The habit is the same, the method is the same, but your body responds completely differently now? There are times you still have desire, your mind still wants intimacy, but your body feels slow, like it's not listening. And what throws a lot of men into panic is that they immediately conclude, I'm weak now, I'm going downhill, my best days are over. But what if I told you this? You're not broken. Your biology is simply changing its rhythm. After 60, the skin is thinner, the nerves need more time to wake up, and the blood vessels are more sensitive and less elastic. That means your body no longer likes the flip a switch approach, and it definitely doesn't match the rush and get it over with style. When you rush, you accidentally pull your entire nervous system into stress mode. When you use too much force, you put pressure on tissues that are already more fragile. And when you carry confusion or shame, the body tightens up before you even begin. Do you see it? The problem isn't desire, it's how safe your body feels. I want you to remember this image. Arousal is like a door that opens on its own, not a door you force open. The more you push, the more it jams. The gentler you become, the more it starts to open. And the moment you shift from stronger to safer, you'll notice your body start responding in a way you thought you'd lost. And here's the part most people don't expect. The most common mistake isn't that you lack knowledge, it's that you're doing something that seems harmless, but it's quietly training your body to respond the wrong way. Starting right now, I'm going to talk about the first mistake: rushing, hiding, just getting it done. The thing that's making pleasure drift away from you little by little. Have you ever rushed just because you were afraid someone might walk in, afraid of being interrupted, or simply because you wanted to get it over with so your mind could feel lighter? A lot of men after 60 no longer masturbate as a moment of body care. They do it like something they have to hide, something they have to sneak, something they need to handle quickly and cleanly. And that rushed rhythm is exactly what's warping your pleasure reflex. Because your body doesn't read desire based on the words in your head. It reads biological signals: fast breathing, tense shoulders, a clenched jaw, a scattered mind, a heart rate that spikes with anxiety. To your body, that's alert mode, not open door mode. When you rush, blood vessels tend to constrict, the sympathetic nervous system kicks in, and you can experience a painful paradox. The more you want an erection, the harder it is to get one. The more you want to be quick so you won't feel tired, the more tired you end up feeling. Even more concerning, if you repeat this pattern often, you're teaching your brain that touching yourself equals stress. And then one day you start wondering, why don't I feel as sensitive anymore? Why does my body seem indifferent? Why does pleasure feel like it's covered by a thin fog? It's not because you've lost desire, it's because you've turned pleasure into an escape. The fix isn't creating some complicated ritual. The fix is giving your body a minimum level of safety again. Slow down by a few minutes, just a few. Turn off your phone, put the screen aside, and take 3 long, deep breaths, like you're bringing blood back into your body. Give yourself permission to be fully present, not to prove anything, but to listen. When your body feels safe, blood flow can actually open up, the nerves can wake up, and sensation can return. But if you think slowing down is all you need, I have to warn you about something. There's a second habit that's even more dangerous because it makes a lot of men need more and more intensity just to feel something. And eventually they get stuck in one single type of stimulation. It's the mistake of force and friction. Do you realize you may be unconsciously gripping tighter than you used to? When sensation decreases with age, a man's instinct is to compensate with force, tighter grip, faster pace, harder pressure. It sounds logical, but after 60, your body interprets that as a kind of attack on soft tissue. The penis isn't a muscle you can force into results. It's a delicate system of blood vessels and nerves, like a living sponge. The more you squeeze, the more you rub, the more you dull sensation. And the duller it gets, the more force you feel you need. A quiet spiral many men don't recognize until they realize they only work with their own hand, and real intimacy starts to feel disappointing. Some men tell me they still love their wife, they still want closeness, but their body doesn't respond the way it used to. They don't dare talk about it. They fear being looked at with pity. And what they fear most is the moment the woman they love turns away, not out of criticism, but out of helplessness. And in that moment, many men begin to withdraw, they get colder, they touch less, hug less, and then they convince themselves, I'm old now, that's just how it is. But do you know what hurts the most? It's not the body getting weaker, it's the distance growing in silence. Here's the emotional peak where I want you to pause for a second and think, if you keep gripping hard the way you are right now, are you protecting pleasure, or are you trading away your ability to enjoy it in the years ahead? And I'm going to say something blunt that might make you uncomfortable, but you need to hear it. Some of what you do in 2 minutes today will determine whether you still feel confident 2 years from now. The solution is to change your philosophy of touch. Loosen your grip, truly loosen it. Use a gentle, unscented lubricant to reduce friction and protect the skin. Make the goal to feel, not to achieve. When you reduce force and increase steadiness and patience, the nerves can gradually become more sensitive again in a more natural way. And you'll be surprised because sometimes sensation doesn't come back because you go harder. It comes back because you do it right. But there's still one final mistake. A lot of men don't believe it's related because it has nothing to do with your hand. It has to do with something far more invisible, the emotion you bring with you when you start. And if that emotion is shame, tension, or self-blame, your body will close down before you even touch. Have you ever finished and then felt empty? Not because you didn't climax, but because somewhere inside you there's still a pocket of self-blame. Am I doing something wrong? Is it weird that I'm still doing this at my age? Am I doing something shameful? A lot of men carry that weight their entire lives. Maybe you grew up in an environment where this was treated like a sin. Maybe you're simply confused by how your body is changing. But here's what you need to understand. Emotions don't stay in your head. They move into your body, into your breathing, your jaw, your belly, into the way your blood flows and the way your nervous system responds. When you carry shame, your body tightens. When your body tightens, sensation drops. When sensation drops, you increase force. And when you increase force, you end up disappointed again. That's a loop. And the harder you try to fix it with techniques, the less you fix the root. The root is internal safety. You don't need to become a different person. You just need to allow yourself to enter that moment with a new attitude. Kindness, calm, and no judgment. I want to ask you a question for honest self-reflection. Before you start, are you looking for pleasure, or are you running away from a feeling? If you're running, your body will always rush. If you're caring for yourself, your body will open. And sometimes the most healing thing isn't stronger pleasure, it's simply stopping the way you treat yourself like someone who has to hide. You're a man who has lived through a lot of years. Your body deserves respect, not pressure. And if your emotions feel too heavy, if you've been dealing with persistent anxiety, ongoing tension, or changes that scare you, talk to a doctor, a therapist, or a trusted friend who truly understands. You don't have to handle everything alone, in every sense of the phrase. And now, since you clearly see the three core mistakes, I'm going to guide you into the simplest practical step: a clean, safe, gentle routine, so that each time you touch yourself, you're rebuilding circulation, rebuilding sensation, and rebuilding confidence. Imagine a ritual that isn't a secret to be hidden, but a moment of respect for the man you've become. It starts with a simple, minimalist setting, a quiet corner where the world can't interrupt you, and a mindset that says, I have all the time I need. Begin by preparing your environment as if you were caring for a guest. Clean hands, a fresh towel, and most importantly, a high-quality, unscented lubricant. After 60, your skin is like fine parchment. It requires glide, not friction. As you start, I want you to focus entirely on your breath. Breathe deeply into your belly, sending a signal to your nervous system that it is safe to open the doors of circulation. Instead of the old flip-a-switch approach, treat your touch like a conversation. Be mindful of the pressure, keep it light, steady, and patient. Notice the sensation of the skin, the warmth, and the rhythm. You aren't trying to achieve a result. You are simply listening to your body's signals. However, part of being a friend to your body is knowing when to stop. If you ever feel sharp pain, unusual swelling, or persistent irritation, don't try to push through it. That is your body's way of asking for professional help, and there is no shame in seeing a doctor to ensure everything is functioning as it should. Today, I have one small challenge for you. Don't try to change everything at once. Just choose one thing from what we discussed. Maybe it's just the deep breathing or the lighter grip, and try it just once this week. Observe how your body responds when it no longer feels pressured. Because here's the truth that few people will tell you plainly. In these moments, you aren't just seeking a release. You are learning the vital art of becoming a friend to your body again. At this stage of your life, the goal is no longer about proving how strong or powerful you are in the ways you did at 25. It's about something far more profound. It's about protecting the life and vitality within your body with calmness, wisdom, and dignity. As we close today's conversation, remember our three pillars, woven together like a new philosophy for your well-being. Slow down so your body finally feels safe enough to respond. Lighten your touch so your nerves can preserve the precious sensitivity they still hold. And most importantly, be gentle with yourself. Because when you release the weight of judgment, you allow your nervous system to open the doors to pleasure once again. Tonight or tomorrow morning, the moment you decide to change just one small habit, you aren't just fixing a technique. You are starting a brand new chapter of intimacy. If you saw yourself in any part of the story today, I invite you to leave a comment with the word calm as a private promise to yourself. And if you're ready to go deeper into how to naturally restore sensation and improve erectile quality after 60, simply write part 2 so I know you're with me. I'll leave you with a thought to carry. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how we treat time with kindness. Remember, in this stage of life, slowing down isn't a sign of weakness. It is your greatest strength. I'm Dr. Emily Carter. I'll see you in the next video.